a lot of people I know, including myself, stressed out over, you know, trying to be something that your parents want you to be, or and shit, my parents stressed out about that probably. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's just a thing that happens generation after generation. Um, but I will tell you this. The reason why I tell you not to so much is because there's many adults my age that they're in counseling right now. They're in like some sort of like family therapy. They're in therapy. They have mental health issues right now because they try so hard to be what mom and dad or mom or dad says they should be, right? And there's a lot of people. There's so many doctors, bruh. There's so many doctors that you are asleep on their table, and they're doing open heart surgery because their dad and their mom told them they must be a fucking heart surgeon, because and if they don't do that, then they're shame the whole family. You get what I'm saying? Or I didn't come to this country for that. Or my family didn't work hard for you to not. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that I like that I heard friends say, right? And they're in like a certain, like job that requires them to be on point, and they had to work their whole life to get to that point to do something that they really don't want to do. Um, and some of them do, right? Not everybody is forced, obviously, right? But I want to say that because I think that deserves a space in that discussion. Like, um, it your mental health, like, you're so much more healthy if you're able to do what you want to do, be free, do what you want to do. Now, on the other hand, right? And I told you I was gonna get into this, right? Um, for me, right, and this is a lot of people. I know a lot of people that, what I'm saying, that this kind of was the case with or whatever, right? Um, one thing I learned, to be honest with you, right? One thing I learned was like, don't, and this is to the parents, right, and the future parents, like, parents and the future parents, do not, like, you're gonna paint a picture in your mind as to like what you think your kids are gonna be like, or, you know what I'm saying, when you have them or when they get older or whatever. But just remember, like, their experiences in life, their experiences are so small in your house. The experiences in your house account for so little, because they realize that when they leave the house, that's the real world. Inside of the house is whatever mom or dad created. You get what I'm saying? So they're going to create their own, they're going to develop into who they are. If you want your kids to be like Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, maybe they turn out that way, maybe they don't. But staying on them about homework, not letting them do stuff, forcing them to go to Kumon and forcing, like, this isn't a personal thing. I'm just saying this is like the things that I've heard, right? Forcing them to join groups and play certain sports and all that kind of stuff, that's not going to turn them into that. Forcing them to do stuff is not going to turn them into that. And I say that because I've seen, as you get older, you get to see the outcome of how all that's, like, you could see the after effect of what happened in your childhood at 36. You can see it. It's in your face. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel bad for those people, right? Because their parents or parent was just super like, do this, do that, this is what you got to do. You must get these grades, and you spend your whole time when you're supposed to be developing yourself as a person. You're spending that whole time trying to chase bullshit and trying to do what they make you. You know what I'm saying? Now, the only good outcome is if you have a structured and, like, just a really good future. You know what I mean? fruitful. You know what I mean? You got a good job, married, all that, right? But in reality, like, you really got to consider, you really, let me take these guys, I got to wipe these up, man. I got a whole fingerprint on my lens right here, and it's killing me. Like, my eyes is literally going like this, like, it's crazy. But nonetheless, y'all, like, you can run from it all you want, but a lot of these kids are damaged because parents were trying to force them to be what they weren't, right? So keep that in mind. Telling your kids to be good, telling your kids to stay focused in school, telling you, working with them, picking them up and putting them on the right path, right, does take force. We can argue that all day. But as they get older, you got to let them, right, let them flow, let them, you know what I'm saying? So there's that, right? The other thing, too, like, that you got to think at the same time is, like, you have to think of, like, this, right? Like, you have parents that they try, or they're doing the best that they can, right? And you know, you get what you get. You get what I'm saying? You do. You get what you get. But I think in reality, and this is where I'm gonna get into my scenario, right? I think for me, I don't know, like, I think for me, like, if you, I don't want to say, I think, this is what I think for me, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I think attempting to live up to my parents' expectations did me in a bit. It fucked with me a bit. It messed with me a bit. There was a time, I feel like it happened. It might have happened. I was 12 or 13 or something like that, where I did not. I shut down, bro. Like, I'm gonna just be honest with you. I shut down because I don't know. I felt like, there was nothing I could do to make them proud of me, right? So what I learned was that at a very young age, probably younger than I should have, like, I learned pretty quickly, like, that I should honestly focus on making myself proud. Like, am I proud of myself? You know what I mean? That's kind of what it was for me. Like, we can go back and forth and we can do all that. But in reality, are you proud of yourself? You know, so I mean, I would say in conclusion, and with me, it's going to be a long-ass conclusion. In conclusion, I'm going to say this, y'all. Living up to your parents' expectations is a good goal, right? Because they mean well for you. They do. They mean well. But let me be the first to tell you that living up to your parents' expectations can be harmful. It can be harmful. And the reason why I say that is, God, dude, sometimes they have unrealistic expectations. Sometimes you get more expectations than you do nurturing. Sometimes you get more expectations than you do love. I've talked to people will tell people will tell you that, right? And again, nobody's perfect. I don't know. I hold parents more accountable because that's the generation I come from, right? I'm not like, oh, the parents do the best they can and that's that. Like, nah, dude. Sometimes the best you can ain't good enough. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Like that's just it. Like, I'm not a baby boomer. I'm not a Gen X, whatever. I don't subscribe to like the bullshit when they, you know what I'm saying? They kind of coddle each other. Oh, they did like, nah, fuck all that. Like the community of parents that coddle each other when they fuck up, like shit like that. The ones that's like, oh, I'm not going with my kids to therapy. What do I need to be? I didn't do anything wrong. Like, nah, me personally, if my son needs to go to therapy because of me, guess who's gonna be there right beside my son? That's it. I practice what I preach. Like I want people to be happy. So if that's what I need to do, that's what I need to do. If I fuck my son up, if I fuck him up, that'd be sad, right? That's not. But if I fuck him up, I will spend the rest of my time trying to make him happy after that. That's the least I can do. And if you're a parent, that's the least you can do. Point blank, period. But with that said, just like, I don't know, like, just remember, you know, you have, I don't know, dude, living up to their expectations is tough. I will tell you this to track back on it before I let you guys go. This was a tough one for me. It's easy to talk about. It's easy to kind of come together on it's easy for me to talk about, and but the hard part, honestly, is that it's all about, this shit is based off of who you have as parents, right? If your parents love you and care about your future, and they give a fuck about your happiness, and they understand who you are, that's amazing, right? Because it's very easy to look at your kids like people that you just need to hurry up and get out the house and make sure they're just not bad people. Go, do your chores and go, right? It's easy. Cause I'm a parent. I gotta work until I get home. I don't have the, you know what I mean? So if you have parents that are invested emotionally and mentally, hopefully I said emotionally and mentally with you, then that's huge, because that's the hard part. Just being there is easy. You come home, you guys all live together. But that emotional investment, that mental investment, that shit's big. So if you have that type of parent, and they're pressuring you to live up to their to kind of up to their standards and where they think you should be in life, you could at least sit down and talk to them and find out, okay, boom, what do you think? Help me understand how to get there. Or you might say, hey, yo, I don't want to go where you're telling me to go. Can I do this? Well, yeah, you might want to, you could, let's talk about it, right? That's just kind of what it is. So in a nutshell, you guys, living up to your parents' standards or whatever, I'm 50-50 on it. I'm 100% with it if that parent respects you, loves you, cares about your opinion, wants you to be the best that you can be, cares about what you want to do in the future, understands your hopes and dreams and all that type of shit. I'm all for that. That's not many parents, though. Not boomers and Gen X, though, but those were not dreamers. Those were they worked at sawmills and shit like that. They didn't dream of shit, right? So that's kind of what you up against. But like I said, you can kind of use your better judgment. But if your parent has that emotional investment in you, mental investment in you, and understands what you want to do, you feel that they understand you and they know you and they accept you. Feeling accepted by a parent, take it from me, feeling accepted by your parents will determine whether or not you're facing juvenile hall time or jail time in the future or penitentiary time. It'll determine whether or not you end up being a gang member, whether or not you end up stealing, whether you end up with a gambling issue, an alcohol addiction, whatever. You know what I'm saying? All these things. This is just all vague, just different things, right? I've seen it. This will determine whether or not that is where you go. So if you feel accepted by your parents, then it doesn't matter who accepts you. Like if mom and dad, or if my mom or my dad accepts me, fuck everybody else. That's who got me. That's who, not just love, because you're going to love whatever you create with somebody. She going to love whatever she shoot out her cooter pepper. You feel me? she accepts, she cares, when you accepting you is different. Accepting you is different. Accepting you means I know you don't get good grades at school, but you're my baby. I love you. What you got going on? I know you're not dope at basketball. I was dope at basketball, but you're not, and that's cool. You're just different with two different people. Love you. You're dope at other things. I don't know, right? So I say that to say a lot, but living up to your parents' expectations. If they care about you, if they accept you, cool. If not, fuck that. Like, do what you need to do, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be sitting on the couch in counseling, and your parents would be sitting there like, I gave you everything you needed. And then, anyway, I'll holla at y'all.